Hi, Cait. Thank you for recording this testimonial. Can you maybe introduce yourself and tell us why you're learning French?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Cait, and I am in the process of learning French. I have never learned anything about the language before, but my husband has two children. So I have two stepchildren that are French and live in France. So although they speak English, it was important for me to take the steps to become in the French language, to be more adept and familiar with the culture here, and to make life a little bit easier here as well. In addition, it's a beautiful language to learn, and I'm eager to expand my linguistics here.
Great. And so we've only been working together for about like a month or so. Can you tell us what made you decide to go for one-on-one coaching with me and join the accelerator? Like what your thought process before you did that?
Absolutely, yes. I thought of various different tactics. You know, there's a lot of different applications out there to participate in that, you know, claim to make the learning process simple and fast and easy. There were various components that made me, you know, go down this path. You know, with a one-on-one coach. And, you know, I wanted accountability. I wanted consistency over intensity. You know, I wanted also that one-on-one ability to have someone kind of have more a diagnostic approach on exactly what route of learning I needed to take. And, you know, and really felt strongly about your expertise with this, you know, as well with teaching, and your pedigree as in addition to that. So all of those kind of combined my decision, you know, helped combine to make my decision into using this one-on-one, you know, process. And in addition to that, I travel frequently. I live in several different places, so it made sense to have someone virtual that I can reach at any time wherever I am. So it didn't require me to be in the same city.
Did you also consider other one-on-one tutoring or teaching online options, or was it just the only options that you considered?
The other online options that I had looked into was Rosetta Stone, which is, you know, simply just to kind of do at your own time and pace. But I had not become aware of any other virtual tutors. I felt that what stood out was the, you know, immense amount of content that you had available, your YouTube videos, and you know, kind of your different approach as far as, you know, having confidence in speaking with the language, and you know, real dedication. So I felt that, you know, working with someone that was very passionate about this would, you know, help with my you know, very beginner early stage speaking skills.
All right. And how is it going so far? I mean, I know it's been only a few weeks, but like, can you feel a difference already? Can you feel some sort of result or impact?
Yes, absolutely. I think, you know, especially now being, you know, starting this, you know, the past few weeks I had been in the US, and I just came to France this week. So was really able to kind of test my progress. You know, with vocabulary and recognizing words that I didn't, and it's just kind of made things much smoother. And also I think, you know, my expectations have changed too, just given really learning, you know, what are the realistic stages of learning a language where you're not going to speak to the level you are as an adult growing up in America right away, you know, equivalent in another country, in France or French. So, you know, I think having, you know, a different mindset of that perspective as well has made things go a little bit more smoother. So I would say it's been a great start. It's definitely, I think, you know, after a month, it's definitely you get yourself into a routine. So that makes things easier for, you know, ongoing. So this will be an ongoing process in the future.
How long have you been learning French before you started learning with me or trying to learn French?
I would say that I really wasn't trying to learn much French. I was spending a significant amount of time coming to France, 6 times a year, and spending several weeks at a time here. But my family all speaks English, and I kind of got by with very few basics, or just actually really struggling. So I kind of made the decision to be committed to this language in the right way and take the proper steps and using the right tools to approach this and become successful in learning the language and making things more easy for me here.
Mhm. I hear you have been learning Spanish in the past in a completely different setting, or like with a completely different approach. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about that and compare the two?
Absolutely. I took Spanish from throughout my academic life, from kindergarten through, I would say, mid-college. So that would, I would say a significant amount of my life. However, that was at the United States, where it was a very much academic approach, where, you're taking a class for an hour a few times a week, doing homework, memorization. While those are, very important things to help you learn, and, I have a strong grasp on, functioning in a Spanish linguistic way. I'm by no means fluent. And I think that now that has benefited me with French, because I've been able to comprehend the ability how to conjugate verbs, and just kind of understand those things a bit easier. So I think it's certainly been advantageous. The pronunciation obviously is much different and so forth, but it was a much alternative experience, learning the language in a school setting versus now doing it more consistently one-on-one, with the intent to become fluent.
So would you say that the difference is mainly the intent, like the long years of learning Spanish had no intent of you becoming fluent ever? Like, I'm not sure I actually get it.
Yeah, I think, now I think it's a more voluntary approach. I think, looking back, it was more of an academic situation where you're, going to class and you're checking these boxes that were required for school, and, was more of just a box to check academically. So, and I didn't really, my intention was kind of to get a good grade, to memorize it, and maybe forget it. I didn't really have the opportunity to use it in my daily life. So perhaps I taken more advantage of it.
Sorry, I didn't get that because the connection was bad. Perhaps you should.
Perhaps I should have paid more attention in class or something to, and could have been more fluent in that language. But I do think it has impacted my learning now, of course.
So you would definitely say that, like, the intention now of actually learning the language to speak it has made a big difference for you.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
Can you see, you're in France right now, right? Can you see the difference already? Like after a month of one-on-one coaching, visiting France, does it make a difference?
Absolutely. I think, my confidence is definitely different. I think that, and like I said, I think the vocabulary stands out more. Definitely not, at the point, my goal is to become have a much stronger ability to be conversational. However, that's something that's going to take a bit of work. And, I recognize I'll get there with more consistency. But I do see, a slight ability to kind of be more involved in everyday tasks and so forth. And I do live in a place where there's very few, if any, English speakers.
So only your family is speaking English to you, right?
Exactly. Yes.
How do you get by when you get outside of the house?
In the beginning, I really wasn't able to do much. But now I'm very confident, driving, going to the store, really doing any type of activity, and, I'll get by with very few words and, a more communication outside of verbal ones. But, able to do much.
All right. If someone would ask you if it's a good idea to join one-on-one coaching, or like if you want, okay, I'm going to re-ask this question differently. If you were speaking to a friend who's interested in learning French, and they would ask you what to consider or whether it's a good idea to do one-on-one coaching with me or to join the accelerator, what would you tell them?
I would say that it's a very valuable idea if you're serious about the language. You know, I think it's a commitment, and you have to be willing to put aside the time, not only with your weekly one-on-one FaceTime calls, but, you know, with the work that goes along with it. So I think it is completely invaluable. And personally, I'm a type of person that if you really want to do something, you take the proper steps to get there, and you work with an expert to kind of help you along the way. I think it's also more time efficient as well, and versus you trying to figure these things out on your own, it might get more frustrating. So it's definitely beneficial to have a coach, like in anything you would in life. If you want to get in great shape, I would recommend you get a personal trainer. So I look at it of that sort as well. So, you know, it makes sense from that perspective. If you're serious about doing it, it's a huge advantage.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Cait. I think that was really helpful.